Hi guys, welcome back to the ST5 series. We're going to jump into the interior. We'll focus on the rear pod, on the rear hatch, and I'll explain the reasons why we've laid that out the way that we have. But we'll get into something in that trailer, which is another part of the trailer I'm extremely proud of, something that we've learnt brand new and taken in all that world experience of all the travel that we've done to create something very luxe and very unique. So the rear of the ST5, very functional. I've already spoken about the reason why we have the rear entry, but we've really capitalised on the real estate that's available having the rear entry. I'll quickly run you through the main things. You're gonna see, got a couple of rollers up here. Again, another indication to what's coming a little bit later on. I think everybody might be starting to pick up on that now. 3 exo rack bars. So the exo rack bars, it's the same bar that we use right across the X range, and it gives you the ability to use T-slot channels and really mount any accessory that's available from any of the roof rack manufacturers. Our preferred supplier always has been Rhino racks. So you can see on the back here, any of the Rhino rack accessories will bolt directly onto the back. We're running a pair of Max Trucks at the back, of course, and the little Rhino rack shovel. So that fits perfectly in line with the back. One of the options that our customers, I think everyone's kind of starting to option this, is we've got this little rear table. It's a multifunctional table. I think on the options list, we've called it a wood rack, but it's really there for anything that you like. Like I said before, you can take that chopping board, bring that chopping board around the back if you're sitting down on the beach and you're fishing, or if you're making up a snack, or whatever you want to do with it. But you can see we've got the military style molly with the holes and the slots, so you can put any molly accessories that you like onto the back. It's also got the ability there when it comes to, wood racks, picking up wood as you're kind of traveling, strapping down wood. I mean, everybody's done it. It's an absolute pain in the ass. So another thing that we've developed here, we've just got these little links that slot in and they hold the thing like a V. So if you're on your way to campsite, say for example, you got your little electric chainsaw, I carry one all the time, cut the logs into that sort of, dump them into there and you've got enough wood for a night's worth of fire. Depending on who you are. For me, that's probably not enough. I think everybody's seen on Patriot games the size fires that we like building. So again, the functionality at the back is absolutely amazing. You can see in here, wet storage boxes. That's a Patriot camper's staple, something that we've always had. Well, you can see right here, Sarah's actually chucked her boots in for the trip. And then on the back, we've got a GME whip. So that's another one of the options that I actually bypass when we're in the kitchen. A base camp radio. I can't stress enough how important that is. The amount of times that we've been on a remote trip and we're trying to get in contact with the guys back at base camp, and everybody's very reliant on the radios that are installed in their vehicles. The reality is when the vehicles are at camp, they're always turned off. So that's a bit of a safety feature. The radio for us, we have a channel when we're running Patriot games that we're always on, and anybody who needs to get us on radio communication, they know where we are. This radio will never be turned off as long as someone's at camp. They're going to be there to render some assistance. So getting into the back, we've got really neat over-center latches, and then we have a paddle latch in the back here, which again is fully lockable. And then when you open the rear, it's on gas struts. Depending on the load that you've got on the back, you can see here at the moment, I've got this thing pretty well loaded up. We've tried to gas the strut pressure into the rear door to really suit all kinds of styles. You can see because I'm so loaded up at the minute, I need to just give it a little bit of a hand. But for the customers, if you've got some stuff that you know that you're always going to have onto the back, it's really just a matter of increasing the strut pressure, because you've got to find that happy medium that it's still easy enough to close and easy enough to open. So that's probably a little bit of a tip. We've taken away on I think everyone might have seen on the launch video that we had a hinge. Kind of the intention here was to have that as a bin storage where you could put a bin bag. I found on that trip it just wasn't quite big enough for a bin bag, so we've just turned this into a hatch that you can kind of stuff in there, whatever you like. This is really cool, lockable, and a full bar. Now, okay, that might seem a little bit wanky for lack of a better word, but I can tell you right now, anybody who travels remote, anybody, always the biggest problem you have is where do you put your bottles? Like, that is just number one issue. There isn't a person who's probably watching this video that hasn't smashed a bottle somewhere on a trip, and it's really quite annoying. We have them wrapped in towels behind back seats and all sorts of stuff. So as gimmicky as it may seem, the reality is it's lockable. You can keep it away from the kids, or if you're out in the communities that you actually can't have alcohol, it's a good place to lock it away. You can use this, and we've had this come in from a lot of our US customers, gun storage. You know, gun laws in the United States, completely different to Australia. Where's or need an area to be able to lock up guns, so probably more for pistols than rifles, but we could develop some sort of gun rack in the back there for our US customers. But we've got, you know, adjustable C-deck on the bottom, everything's machined, everything kind of has a place. And again, through those testing videos that you saw us when we were doing the ST5 suspension, we had this thing fully loaded at the back and not a single thing moved around. Stainless steel bench top, so if you want to use this as kind of a bar area, you can get your glasses out and do whatever you want to do there. Moving up the top, another great storage area, a couple of things that, again, this is loaded for my trip, a couple of things I don't go anywhere without. First aid kit, new Max Trax ones are really cool and they're quite compact. We run one of these in each one of the vehicles. I've got a little T-handle, that's obviously a dead giveaway there. Boat clamps, GMA handheld, always carry a couple of them with me. I'll give them to the kids when they run out. And the GMA EPIRB, every one of our vehicles, boats, the grab bag at the front, we don't go remote touring without an EPIRB. These ones are great, little personal locating beacon. You get into trouble, you pull that cord, helicopter's on its way. It's really just that simple. And then we've got our air inflation kit, which I'll run you through when we get to that a little bit more. Moving around to this side, you've got another great storage area, second fire extinguisher, quick access. Again, that really comes from the off-road racing thing. The team here know, for me, fire extinguishers are imperative. We've been in those situations where you've needed one, so we really want to make them accessible. And another thing I actually want to touch on, we've spent a lot of time, a lot of focus and a lot of design hours have gone into the ST5 on creating labels, which I'm going to make that really apparent when it goes around the side. We've got a departure checklist, for example. Some of the things that we do take for granted as people that camp very often, but for people who don't camp very often, there are a lot of steps and there are a lot of things that you often forget to do, either when you leave or things that you forget to take with you. So we spend a lot of time labeling. So if you've got, you know, the kids, or you lend your trailer to a friend, say, for example, or you're camping with some mates and you're like, oh, can you go and turn that on for me? And they come over and they're kind of like, how do I do that? Well, there's a great indicator here for where all the buttons are on the Red Vision. And then we've got all the switches here that control airbags. So a left and right airbag is right here. Our roof hatch up and down is right here, and our awning open and close is right here. A couple of customers came up with a comment when we were doing the first launch night here. Well, what happens if somebody walks over to my trailer in the middle of the night and puts my roof down or locks me in the trailer? And that was a genuine concern. We've got a key now on the roof hatch. You can remove that key and you can't operate the roof, so nobody can close it on you. I might forget to say it later, so I'll say it now. We also have an emergency exit right in the front of the trailer. So I'll try and remember to show you through that. If anything was to happen, let's say there was a fire out the back, or bears are a big thing in the United States, huge thing, as funny as that might sound to us in Australia. They think everything over here wants to kill us. When I hear the stories about bears in the United States, that scares the hell out of me. If you can't get out the back of the trailer for whatever reason, there's an emergency exit right up the front that takes you straight down onto that ladder, which is a really good feature. In the top here, we have the RGBs that are controlled from the other side, so you can do multicolored lighting out here. And again, you can dim it to orange or red with bugs. Engineers, we tried to prove the point when we were on our last trip, that the red and orange lights really don't do anything. So whether it's white or it's red or orange, I'm convinced it doesn't matter. If the bugs want to come around the trailer, they'll come around your trailer, but a lot of people are adamant on it. So that's just my own opinion, right? Rear staircase. So drop down the rear staircase here. We've gone away from C-deck on the rear staircase. Again, I was finding through the Simpson Desert and a couple of the other trips, when you're trudging over C-deck with boots on, it absorbs dirt, it gets filthy, and there's no real way of cleaning it. So any of the areas where you're gonna have muddy boots or whatever on, like I would actually step up on there and then maybe sit down and take my boots off. So we've gone to a tough lining on there so you can gurney that out. Rear door, we got a two-way style door. You can run this as a hard sealed door, or it's got magnetic catches that we've installed at the back, or you can run it direct as a fly screen. So you can leave that open there, run it as a fly screen, but if you're running the air conditioner or you're running the heater, again, this is fully lockable. So that's about it, I think, for the rear. As far as lighting goes, I'm gonna run you through a little bit later on when we get through it. We've really thought about all of the situations when it comes to camp scene lighting. So we got this awesome little courtesy light over the back if you want to get out of the trailer during the night. We have the rock lights that you guys have seen in the launch films that light up around the floor. And of course, everything is controllable. We have a red vision screen for the external. We also have another one internal, but everything is controllable from your phone. So once you Bluetoothed into the trailer, your phone becomes, again, when Red Arc first released it, I thought it was quite gimmicky. Now I wouldn't do without it. When I get into bed at night, my phone's on charge beside me, as it always is, and I think everybody's is. You pick your phone up, all off during the middle of the night. You don't have to look for switches or anything like that, although you do have a control panel right beside the bed. You can simply just pick your phone up, turn on the lights that you want, put on the courtesy lights. There's two modes of lighting when it comes to the ST5. One is what we call scene lighting. So white lights up in the roof and the white lights around the bottom of the trailer if you're working on something. And then we also have another group of lights that are warm white. So they set that real kind of nice camping scene. Every single light on the ST5 through the Red Vision Rogue is dimmable. So anywhere that there's a light on the trailer, you can brighten the thing up or you can dim it right down. The moods that you can create inside of this trailer is absolutely amazing, and we've put some huge focus onto the interior and ensuring that this thing feels nothing like a camper trailer. It feels nothing like a caravan. This is a beautiful setting inside that comes from years and years and years of staying in hotels, traveling around the world, getting Patriot campers, and we've taken a lot of those design cues. So let's get inside and I'll show you through that. Sarah's actually got it set up right now. She's got the thing ready, all of the bedding done. I've literally just popped the lid and all I did was just open all the windows. The space that we've created in here has been a real challenge, and an extreme challenge here in a good way. We didn't want this thing to feel like anything that we've ever done before as far as camper trailer goes. What we see in a lot of the pop-top style kind of hybrids is the bedding is normally sitting up at this kind of level, or the roof is a little bit lower, that you're actually still sleeping in the canvas. So if you roll over in your bed, you're touching canvas. Now, once again, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what a camper trailer is designed to do. But this style, we wanted as much luxury feel as we possibly could. And we've spent countless hours in researching different materials, because the other challenge is we couldn't just select standard kind of off-the-shelf materials, because weight was still that number one driver. We wanted to ensure that we were maintaining the structure, and so everything that you see inside of here when it comes to the cabinetry, all the partition walls, all of the structure that I was talking about before. So this is the internal beam, the main skeleton or the main frame that's holding the trailer together, that we were using aluminium and the most lightest weight materials where we possibly could. So all of this interior that you see, although it looks like a two-pack finish cabinetry, it's actually all powder-coated aluminium. So it's been a huge challenge for us in selecting all of the materials. We've chosen a material on the bench tops that really resembles like a marble. It's extremely scratch resistant, it's extremely durable, but it is super lightweight. And again, this has all been stolen from kind of aerospace, you know, where you see those fittings when you walk into, even say, for example, you know, on a commercial liner, and sometimes you look at a commercial liner and like, how do they get a marble bench top in here? But there are materials that are available now, but they come at a pretty premium price. So when it comes to pricing of the Patriot campers, we do focus on Australian made, we do focus on Australian suppliers. Our network of supply here in Australia is absolutely massive, but that's the compromise with what we build. We don't build any of our products to a specific budget. We build them to the requirements of durability, premium materials, and if that material is available or that supplier is available in Australia, we will always choose an Australian supplier over anyone else. So like I was saying, at the moment, we are in bed mode. You've got a full one-piece roof. It's a 30mm composite with an aluminium structural frame. All of the actuators that lift the roof are all external, so you don't get to see any of that sort of stuff inside. All canvas, all premium canvas, massive windows, ventilation. I'll talk you through the heating and the air conditioning. This one here actually has the option of the kids bunk, a really, really clever design for up to maybe, I'd say maybe about a 10-year-old. So if you do have a young child, you can sleep them inside. But once again, when we get a little bit later on in the video and I'll show you what we've developed for the roof, this trailer now has the ability to sleep a family of 5. It's really simple in its functionality. Before I fold it up, the emergency exit I was talking about before, you can see there's another emergency exit label here. There's also one up at the front. That front window zips out if for any reason that you had to get out of the front of the trailer. You can simply go straight out the front. But during the day when you're not using the kids bunk, it's really just as simple as on the gas struts, just folding it up to the roof there. If you do forget to pull that down, we've designed the angle at a point that if you actually close the roof and you forgot to hinge that up, it'll just push the bed back down. But you can see up in here, the space, we've got a queen size bed, big windows here. So we've got one that just pops out, gets good cross ventilation right across the trailer. And then we've got a sliding window on the side and you have the ability to remove the fly screen. So say in the morning, if your partner's outside making a coffee, they can pass it straight through without coming inside. Up the front here, we've got more mood lighting. We've got bed reading lights. We've got USB chargers on both sides of the bed. We've got this really neat little hatch on both sides of the bed. So if you've got books, CPAP machine, any of that kind of common stuff that people carry, you've got your little personal stuff in there right beside you. You can see overhead here, we have a his and hers storage locker. So this is where that Sarah's clothes that are going to be stored on that side. My clothes are going to be stored on this side. Got all lighting inside there, so during the middle of the night, let's say for example, you had to grab something out, you could get something out of there. That's about it for the bed. It's a massive size. I'll just convert this thing into the cafe style mode, and then I'll show you kind of how it works with your day living space, I suppose. So we've developed a new table system for the ST5. You saw it down in bed mode. We've got huge load support now. We found with the swiveling table that we originally launched the ST5 on, it was just really cumbersome to use. You know, I was watching people struggle at shows and kind of opening and closing it. So we've developed this new setup that when it's in the down position, it's completely flush with the cushions, which give the mattress the opportunity, or the inner springs in the mattress, and that's inner sprung, I should say. This is just a cover over the top. It's super, super comfortable, and it just makes the operation of the bed just so much simpler. You simply just, you know, you pull a clip, you fold it into the down position, then you fold it back up into the up position. Just pop that clip out and that locks in. Now during the day, if you were kind of operating like this and I had a laptop or whatever, but say when it comes to meal times, you just push on this button here, slide that forward, and that's just at the perfect height. If your partner wants to get in and out from the other side, it's the same deal, just slides back and forward, but it gives you a really neat storage area inside here. So the TV remotes for the TV that's mounted on the wall, you know, books or anything else in there. It's just an absolutely beautiful space. Now, once again, even when I said before that there's zero timber, zero MDF inside the trailer, even when it comes to this top, this is a core field plywood, just that top. That's the only piece of timber that exists anywhere in a Patriot camper. So it's actually a sandwich thin sheet of ply with foam, then another sheet of ply, and then we laminate over the top this beautiful bench top material. And once again, just every single gram that we can save, kilo, we really try and keep it all down. Materials are all premium. You can see the way that the bolsters are done, the way that the stitching's been done, cushions. It's just an absolutely amazing space, and this is something I'm extremely proud of. A company that started, you know, producing rooftop tent trailers, and we're now at this kind of standard, utilising the equipment, the knowledge, and I suppose everything that we've learnt over travelling the time that we have. So when it comes to internal storage, obviously you've got your his and hers as far as the overheads go, and then underneath here, you've got another huge storage area in there. That's actually the TV. TV comes in a really nice canvas bag. There's no chance of it getting damaged. Once again, we want our customers to kind of push the limits when it comes to remote destination traveling, and we just didn't want a TV bouncing around on the wall. Moving around to the kitchen, you can see here we've got the other Red Arc TVMS screen inside. So it's given us our battery display, obviously the status of all of our 3 water tanks. So you've got a main water tank, then you've got a reserve water tank, and then you've got a grey water tank, which all the grey water comes out of the sink, and obviously the shower, you can dump that if you like. USBs inside, USB-C, which is something new for us. Roof hatch up and down, and then obviously your ability to lock that as well. Couple of GPOs in here if you want to run 240 volt. You've got your Truma heater system here, which I'll talk about in just a sec, and you've got your Truma air conditioner. The Truma, we've moved away from Webasto and we've gone over to Truma. With Webasto, we were having huge problems at altitude in the United States, that the Webasto needed to be tuned for different elevations, needed to be jetted. We found our customers at sea level that had their units jetted at sea level weren't working at altitude, and same vice versa. So we've steered, it was a great unit in Australia. We had a lot of success with it in Australia, but the support of Truma that we're getting out of the United States and the new Truma system, the heater efficiency of the Truma is, for us, for what we've seen, has far surpassed anything that we've seen with Webasto. When we had the Webasto systems in the X range, they would just take the chill out of the air. The Truma systems turn these things into, basically into saunas. You know, again, I've done a lot of testing here. We've really put the focus into placement of all of the outlets for the air conditioning system and the heater system, that they're all in the right spot to really control the temperature. We do have a temperature sensor inside here as well. So it will sense the temperature and it'll run like climate control. If you set a certain temperature, it will maintain that temperature, and the heater system inside this now specifically is insane. The air conditioning system, I can say pretty much the same. You'll notice no aircon in the roof. Again, something else that we're really quite proud of. We have a reverse cycle air conditioning system that actually sits underneath this bench, right at the bottom of the bench, but all the vents come through all of this structure that you see here, and they pump the cold air in. I had this running last time I was out in it. I put the air conditioner on to, I think, 20 degrees, and I fell asleep, and I woke up a couple of hours later just absolutely freezing cold, and it was probably 35 degrees outside. I had to get up and turn it down. The efficiency and even the current draw of the air conditioner is quite impressive. You're not going to get a full 8 to 10 hours out of running the air conditioner off the battery bank itself. I've seen it kind of likes to hover around that 80, 90, 100 amps. With 460 amp hours, you'll get, call it 4 to 5 hours of air conditioning on flat out of these batteries. So you can option on 2 additional lithium batteries, so you can bring the total up to 920 amp hours, which is equivalent to around 11 kilowatt hours. If you want to run the air conditioner, I actually carry a little Honda 1 kVA genset. It's that big, and it just provides that enough top-up power that you can probably get 12, 13, 14 hours, something like that. I haven't tested it to the full extent. When I say that the air conditioner is reverse cycle, once again, you have the diesel heater system, so you're off the grid. You want to run the diesel system. That also controls your hot water. It just literally just sips diesel. The diesel, I can't even tell you how rarely I fill up the diesel tank. That's how efficient it is. But if you are at a caravan park or you do have a generator running, you can run the heater straight through the reverse cycle, the inverter and the air conditioner, so you don't even have to use your diesel. So you have 2 options of heating the inside. Moving down this side, above sink, really, really classy, very, very modern, hot and cold water here. We have some storage in here, toothbrush, you know, that kind of toiletries. You can see little towel rail for inside. All right, the bathroom. You can see on this side here, we've got this little storage area. Sarah's got some books and toothbrushes and stuff in there, and she started kind of kitting this out. You do have a towel rail over the top, so when we're traveling, we'll leave the towels kind of hanging there so they can dry out. But this is a very, very, very clever, another clever use of space. You've got a pocket style door, so when you're inside, you can close that door. You can see it's a huge area, and you can also close this flap if need be. If you're going to go nuts in there with showering and get water everywhere. But basically, if I jump inside, you can see the room here. Obviously, being able to turn around, shower inside here, even with the door closed. We actually have the shower rose that hangs in this position, obviously when you are using the shower. So it operates just like your shower would at home. You've got a great little storage area here for your soaps and all your toiletry sort of gear. Non-slip on the floor, and then you've got a massive drain on the floor there as well, which is going to drain either straight into your grey water tank, or you have valves on the side of the grey water tank that you can just drop it straight to the floor. Not advised when you're using soaps and that sort of stuff. Generally speaking, you go into grey water now, and then you get to a dumping point. And when you want to use the toilet, this is actually really clever. This is just magnets on the side. So that folds over and that keeps your toilet sealed off. So when you're in shower mode, There's no chance of getting anything wet inside here. You can see you've got a toilet roll. We've only gone with composting toilets on this. Composting, from all the research, this is new to us, fitting a toilet into one of our products. From all of our research, it's just the way of the future. It has an exhaust vent that exhausts the vent out the side, and the composting toilet, the Ogo brand, is the one that we've decided to run with. They just seem to be kind of at the top end, but a really, really clever solution. Everything just magnets back. There's nothing to latch down, and you can see that space inside there. You've got an interior light. You've got massive windows inside there as well. So if you're having a hot shower and you want to ventilate it out, realistically for us, you know, you should be in an area where it doesn't matter who's around you, because there is no one around you. So the utilization of the door is really just to keep the water out from spraying the inside of the trailer. But again, it's something that I'm just extremely proud of. You can see the level of detail we go to. And once again, this is all aluminium. There's no thick composite panels. The weight reductions in absolutely everything that you see in the ST5 has just been a key focus. Carpeted floors right throughout. The first prototype that we built, once again, we sea-decked the entire floor. I found that was getting filthy. It's extremely hard to clean. You can't mop it. What we've done is we've gone with carpet mats. So you can either use the blower, blow the thing out, carry a little vacuum cleaner with you, or simply what I do, I just unpin them, shake them off outside and drop them back in. So once again, really clever use of space. As you can see, that interior it's still, I don't think it's very expected. We get a lot of customers that know Patriot and they know the product. They come into the showroom and they look inside of that interior and you just do not feel that you're in a camper trailer. We've really focused on that, creating that space somewhere that you want to be when the weather turns bad. But you've got to remember, at the end of the day, Patriot Camp is all about external living. That's really what we focus on. In the next video, we're going to run you through, for the tech guys, we're going to run you through the service module. We're going to get really deep inside the service module there, and I'll explain to everybody why we've created another, I think it's another first for the industry, something I've never ever seen before, that comes again from those years and years of experience when it comes to remote destination travel. So for all you tech guys, make sure you tune into the next video, because that's one that you're not going to want to miss.